Hello,
We're on.
everyone. Well,
Hi.
JB, just have a quick cup of tea there, sir. I'll not come to you first. JB, what you up to?
quick.
No, so anyway, we'll start off then. JB, are you good? Are you well? Are you?
Yeah, I'm feeling very tired. I'm exhausted after a week of allotmenting.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic, but I am really feeling it today.
I was going. Have you took a week off for it, like a whole?
Yeah,
design?
so I actually always do. Kind of end of March, middle of March normally is when I book my first week off work in the calendar, knowing that it's the time to start getting everything ready, do the first kind of March sowings. And yeah, this year I've just had a lot more than a week's worth of work to do in a week.
I watched that, JB. I watched that video, the polytunnel one. Man, I tell you what, it must have been hard for you to do it.
It was
and I reckon there was a few edits there where it just you couldn't go on. But hell, there's tears in my eyes, and even now thinking about it, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh bloody hell.
That was a beautiful sign that Jess had made for you.
Yes,
it was really sweet.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I did love the way, JB, that you had naturally JB underneath, and not to kind of, like you say, the reasons, everyone thinking, oh, you took, but it was just nice to have that bond.
Yeah.
Do you know what I thought? I thought it was like, yeah, definitely lovely.
I do know what you mean. I did have one comment as well from someone thinking that I was renaming my channel when they saw that sign in my next video. I was like, no, not at all. So yeah, I thought it was really nice.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Audrey, how are you? Nice, good. Weather good?
Weather is cold again, so that's good. I suppose
we start this off for every it's like 6 months. It's cold.
I
6
know.
months, you know what I mean? So yeah,
well, welcome to my world.
Welcome to Detroit.
I was looking at so many videos or YouTube channels yesterday, and a lot of them were from the UK, and everything is so beautifully mild there. It just kind of rocks my world a little bit. That really everyone's out in like a t-shirt, shorts. And I think, wow,
it must have been the whole YouTubers who've grabbed that one day of sunshine to go out and record because it's just.
Well, I think even when you guys think it's cold, it's really not cold. For us, that's wow. We're gonna have to wear pants, not shorts. Okay, that's So anyway, it's gonna snow, I guess, this week.
Well, Audrey, it's warm in this embrace we're in now. So
yes,
all the more for you. Thank you for being here. What a charmer!
I know. Gosh, you haven't lost your touch, Tony.
It's ex-hairdresser. Never lose. Never leave.
You still got it. You still got it, dude.
How you doing? Okay. How you doing, love? How you doing? Right, Jesse, I could do wonders with that hair of yours. Oh my God, I could do wonders with it. Are you good, Jessie? Are you well?
I'm pathologically terrified of hairdressers. I try and block it out of my mind that you're secretly a hairdresser.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. 35 years ago, mind you, but and still never leaves you, Jess. I could still do a great perm on that. Oh, fantastic. Nice and tight.
Perm, you are dating yourself. Yeah.
Are you well, Jess? Are you good? Are you?
Yeah, really well. It's been an incredibly busy week.
Busy's good though, isn't it? In the garden, busy's good.
Yeah.
That's a nice to start off with then, Jess. You know when you've had a busy day, do you go home feeling, I've had a busy day? Or does it kind of, hey, I've had a busy day? Which one? Are you glass half full or glass half empty?
Well, I mean, it does depend what the busy involved. Like sometimes you're like, but most of the time, like if you've got like loads of things like ticked off the list and all the stuff that you wanted to do done, you just come home feeling really like excited and energized about it. But yeah, that's if all the jobs have gone really well. Yeah, if you've spent like an entire day redoing something that you've messed up, it's different. But no, this week has been like mostly achievement rather than like backward steps. So.
Can you give a little insight then? What goodness has happened in the allotment?
Well, it was just I was really behind. Like my list of things I wanted to sow in March was huge, and I'd started off quite well at the beginning, and then just nothing. Obviously, got the cat. That's been a bit of a handicap for sewing stuff and getting stuff done. It was also like Easter. We had the boat race here. It was my birthday. Like, it's just been loads and loads of stuff to do. So it's like kind of fitting stuff in. And I had this huge list of sewings. And like yesterday, I just went up to the greenhouse and just was there for about 3 hours and just sewed everything on that list. By the end of it, like, just the look of all the beautiful seed trays, like before everything started coming up and being eaten by slugs or anything, when it's that absolutely pristine, it was really, really pleasing.
So did spreadsheets work? Are spreadsheets now put to bed, finished for the year, or are we still working on Excel for the tomatoes and everything? Or
Oh, that's a year-round thing. Come on.
God, I hate Excel spreadsheet. You know what I mean? It just never came to us that. JB, what you been up to? What you been like physically been up to? I know we talked about cutting that, but anything else? Any sowings, tomatoes? Oh, you did send us saying you're doing the challenge as well. It was like one little seed.
Yes,
I don't think mine's going to germinate. You know, JB.
I only put mine in yesterday, so we'll see. We'll see on that. But yeah, I think I'm pretty much caught up on most of my sowings. I did have one mishap with a brassica tray in the polytunnel, which thankfully they were just seeds. I'd sowed the whole tray, and then they were stored lengthwise on the floating shelf. I'd lifted one of the trays up, and the other tray was still in there, and it just went like completely upside down. But luckily, they hadn't germinated or anything, so I've just got to resow that. That was some of the brassicas. One of the ones that you sent actually, Audrey, the Trontuda or something like that. Looks like a really interesting
that's
head-forming kale.
Yeah, it's a
Portuguese.
It's like a freeform cabbage kale combo thing. Yeah. I forget what country that comes from, but it's very good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I just remembered I've still got that one, Audrey, to sow as well. Yeah, so
I think you do.
Mm-hmm. JB, I was noticing, what are those brassicas? Because I was rather jealous in your polytunnel grown. They look quite.
Yeah, they're getting there. That's just my cabbages. I think
overwinter. So there's no like.
Oh, the overwintered ones. Yeah, the ones in the ground.
Yes,
they're massive, but unfortunately, they've all just started bolting, where it started getting really hot in the tunnels. So we're going to take those all for kind of spring greens and hope they're nice enough if you fry them up.
And no white fly or anything like that on them?
No, they're pretty clear. I did see a caterpillar on there the other day, but it was actually like it wasn't a cabbage white. It was like a big fat dark caterpillar, so it was fine. Did have a cabbage white in the tunnel though the other day that I found that I rescued. But yeah, they.
You rescued. Is that the term that you use these days? Well, I rescued it.
Well, all my stuff is netted, so it can go to the neighbours. I don't mind. Be free. But yes, no, they were. They looked really sad for most of winter, and then as we got into spring, they started looking good, and then it got hot, and they've all just gone straight to seed. Well, not all of them, but I think they're all going to, because it is really starting to get warm in that tunnel now.
Mm-hmm. Audrey, what about you? How's your potatoes? First off, let's hear. Is the potatoes outside?
They're not outside yet because it's freezing out there right now. So I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with them, and I might just be putting them in the compost heap that I don't have. So that might be their end. But I have, a lot more potatoes coming, so it won't be the end of the potato journey.
What, you're going to put them in the compost bin to decompose or to grow better?
Oh, no, I'm kidding, because I don't have a compost. So it'd be more like I'm sending them where plants go to die. We'll see. I'm still hanging on to them. We'll see once the weather just shifts. So I just need to shift a little, and I'll get them outside and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. You've got to see them through, Audrey. They're almost like babies to them. You can't be like,
Well, I'm not. I mean, they're still under their lights, and they still get watered, and they get cared for. But I don't know. They're really tall, skinny plants.
These must be the most expensive potato plants. You know what I mean? What's costing? With like electric and.
Yeah, maybe. That's definitely possible.
Anything else? Any new sowings? Anything?
I bought more tomato seed. See, I bought some more peppers, but they're for next year because there's no way I'm going to have enough time for hot peppers at this point.
Didn't you say, Audrey, no more
don't
tomatoes
quote me.
because you've got far too many tomatoes anyways, and it's a waste of time buying tomatoes because you still haven't made all the sauces from the last tomatoes.
Correct.
So I'm just wondering why you bought
I don't
more
understand what's the question, Tony.
So why have you bought more seeds?
Because I liked how they looked, and we keep talking about tomatoes. I happen to get a hold of some pork chop seeds.
Nice.
So I'm doing those. I have a Alice's Dream sitting right next to me. So yeah, there's just a whole lot out there. I really went and looked for how pretty are they. So I bought 4 yesterday that are just really pretty. So I almost don't not concerned about how they taste as much. We'll see, because they look like they'd be gorgeous tasting. No, they look like they're going to taste lovely.
See,
so
Audrey's went to a different level from, you know what I mean, from us mere mortals. Audrey's like, I'm not even the taste. No, I'm higher. You know what I mean?
No, they all look like they have a lot of. I like a darker tomato because I think they're more interesting tasting. So they all have a little bit of that, or they're yellow with some red in them. So yeah, and one of these yellow ones I found had purple shoulders. And I thought, oh, that looked really pretty.
Yeah, so, the Alice's Dream is quite purple on top, yellow and purple.
Yeah, it's got like streaks down it.
It's beautiful.
Jess, Alice's Dream, is that what I don't think mine's germinated yet, and it's been like, say, a week and a half, but someone mentioned in the comments that they take a while to germinate them particular ones, or is that just...
Oh, really? I mean...
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Aren't they beautiful? Beautiful seeds.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to try these.
Because I was just... all the other ones has come. You know, I've got the spaceship one and all that, and the pork chop one.
The spaceship one?
What's it called? Rebel Starfighter.
There we go.
Yes.
The spaceship.
And they've all come, Jess, but this Alice's Dream...
Oh, well, I only just sowed mine yesterday. I did the big tomato sowing session yesterday, so I haven't... Like that, obviously nothing's happened yet, but I will keep an eye out and see if that one's particularly slow.
Where's your swans at then, Jess? In the house or at the greenhouse?
At the moment they're in the house. I'll get them up. It's just a bit like it's supposed to be quite warm, but last night it dipped to like 3 degrees here. It was completely clear. Like it was a really beautiful, clear evening, and the temperature just went whoop. So yeah, I didn't take them up, but by the halfway through, like in 2 weeks' time, basically, when they're up, I'll take them to the allotment. We'll be past any danger of that.
Will you be past frost then by that day, 2 weeks' time?
Well, I mean, supposedly, our last frost date is supposed to be the 21st of March.
Wow.
Wow.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it says on the map. But I'm sure... I mean, I say, I'm sure we've had them later than that. I don't remember any being later than that, but 3 degrees was a bit spicy last night.
That's still to me see as winter, doesn't it? Like 21st of March, you're still for... I mean...
We're at 4 degrees right now.
And that's your summertime.
That helps.
I'm here with my cup of tea and my hood, and
I know.
About 14 today, so
I can't wait to stop wearing turtlenecks, but I'm cold all the time.
So you'll leave them in your house though, Jess. This is what I'm saying, like until germination.
Oh yeah, they'll germinate and they'll probably be potted up.
Right.
Here.
Oh wow.
And then I mean, it depends. I mean, again, it depends on what happens with the kitchen floor, because if they come in and take away the greenhouse,
yes, we've still got
yeah.
Then if we can't use the back end of the house where all the light is, well, they'll have to go up to the allotment earlier than planned. But so far we haven't heard anything from them. So yeah,
somebody's already taken peppers up to a greenhouse.
I mean, I don't know who would do that. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, when you said it got down to 3 degrees last night where you were, I was a bit like, ooh. I haven't checked the thermometer this morning, but I don't think it would have been that cold here. Our forecast has been really, really good, which is why I have taken some down.
Oh, it's you. I was going.
What?
Jim,
Tony's missed the pick in the WhatsApp.
I was going to honestly. I was going to say, who's done it? Drop a link to like the idiot that's took them. So you took peppers.
Oh, a lot of peppers.
Oh, it's six plants.
It was a tray of potted up, very tall peppers. Come on.
Oh, these are the ones that everyone's been like. You've took them up, have you? Like,
yeah, they're not my mega plants. They're still on the tray back there. But there's they are potted up. There's some of my slightly slower ones, but they're all the ones that are growing tall. They're not leggy. They're just tall plants. It's ones like the Thunder Mountain Longhorn, the Champion, and the Havana Gold, and they're too tall for my lights. So I can't make the lights go on the leaves anymore. I maybe could have bodged something, but the forecast is really mild for the next 2 weeks. We've literally got lows of around 8 degrees where I am. So it's not ideal for the peppers, for the chilies, but I think they'll be all right. And I think they'll probably be a bit better off in the greenhouse getting full light. But at the moment, the lights could only, say this is your chili pepper, the lights were kind of here, you know? So they were only getting half of the leaves. And I thought, let's give it a go.
This might be our chance, Jess. You know, like the rabbit and the tortoise. This might be our
That's
chance.
what I'm picturing.
Yes.
That's what I'm picturing. He's going to have to sow again. So
Wow, JB, man. So I'm guessing you're watching temperatures like day by day, and then what will you just nip up and bring them back if it?
Yeah, if we get like to kind of 2 or 3 degrees, I'll probably bring them back. But it's looking pretty good. Last year I took some about a week from now. It was kind of the end of the first week of April, and then the forecast changed dramatically, and they spent another week at home before they went back into the greenhouse. So I do bring them back. I am quite good. I'm not just saying I'll bring them back. If the forecast does change, they'll come back. For sure.
Did you harden them off a little bit or anything?
Well, the forecast has done me a bit dirty on this, because if it's cloudy, it's perfect for hardening off. They'll be fine, but it has been a lot sunnier than I was expecting. So they might get a little bit of sunburn, a little bit of sun scorch.
I know.
We'll see.
I forget his proper name. He's Salt and Pepper on Instagram. You know, who got into like feeding the peppers.
Yeah.
Now he would always take his up early, but like heavily feed them and say that would like protect them through like a dip. Maybe not, obviously not a freezing dip, but it's certainly like a. Are you going to feed? Are you feeding them, or are they just there?
No,
naked?
they're still relatively young in the pots. They were some of the ones that were potted on much later than the main ones that you can see over my shoulder. So they've got loads of goodness in their pots.
You had a little bit of a sacrificial attitude when you took them up there.
I did, yeah. I've got too many.
I took note of that, yeah.
I do have too many this year, so if they all die, so be it. I've got too many as it is.
You know what I mean?
But there was one, I think it was your Champion, that you almost got teary about because you're thinking, I didn't know I brought this one up too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I have some really good ones back there, but that is... Yeah. When I saw how well that was growing, I was like, oh yeah, I do want to keep on.
And it was really a beautiful plant.
It was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very pretty. Very pretty.
Yeah.
JB, could you, because like I say, I haven't done this, and running backwards and forwards, I would be prepared to do it, but would you just like bring them, because obviously the logistics, you've got work now, so you cannot, how do you bring them down, you bring them back to your house, do you just put them on the floor with no lights, then somehow try and get them back up the next morning, or do you try and slot them back into lighting positions, or?
There's still room on that shelf back there, so for now they'd just go back up there with not ideal light until it warmed up again. Really.
Right.
So it wouldn't be too hard. I do start work quite early, but it's flexible, so I can start at 9 if I want, which is plenty of time to bomb up and get them.
Now, Tony, you need to remember you're in the northeast of England.
It's very different.
Not the south.
I know.
So don't be taking this as I got to get mine up there now.
Audrey, mine has
if you saw mine, I think mine are stunted. They're like these little, They're very small. And I saw your celeriac the other day, Tony. and
Yes.
you flew
Huge.
right past me.
Really?
I think I rented mine before you, and they're still very spindly, and yours look beautiful.
Well, I mean, Audrey, they were, mind you. There was some, I'm sure, sometime in, well, it was when Tony O'Neill was on and he said he'd planted it, but I'm sure it was in January. And it took
then you did beat
ages.
me.
It took ages to germinate. And then I forgot about them. Do you know what I mean? But then they've had
You
to
and your forget about stuff.
Yeah.
It grows better when you forget about
Well,
things.
to be honest, Audrey, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that with, and honest, no swear, with me tomatoes. They're all in the little, the little 6-inch trays.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and leave them in there as long as possible. I'm not about repotting just yet, because soon as I start meddling, you know what I mean? I don't know if I just I don't know if it's my breath. You know what I mean? When I'm talking, I don't know what's happening with them. Do you know what I mean? But so the plan is this year to just leave them. But I did see, JB, my greenhouse door, the middle glass is kept in by about, I don't know how many clips, but there is a gap, and I'm saying that much on either side. And I was thinking, like Jesse got a bit of a draft. If there was a draft, it would hit
maybe
spot on. So I was thinking, there's
silicon.
loads, but there's still
Even the silicon.
yeah, you know what I mean? I'm going to be sellotaping and everything just to kind of get it draft proof. But those birch loca ones are still,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I literally zoom in with the camera to try and make it look a little bit better, but other ones are coming. But Jess, how's yours? Are yours still like thumb size?
I mean, they're still really tiny, but they have picked up. I've moved them from this office, which is obviously just like a death zone, down to the conservatory, and they've been down there now for about 5 days. I gave them a really, really, really super weak seaweed feed and stuck them down there where the light's just it's like being in a greenhouse. And even the ones, that I said that the stripies that you had given me, JB,
They're
one
feeble.
of them was okay, but the other two of them only had their seed leaves. Nothing had happened. Well, there's something happening.
Nice.
Yeah, so something's going on, and they do look better. I mean, they're not exactly a lush jungle, but it's better than it was. So I'm optimistic something's going to happen to them.
Is your Jimmy? Is your conservatory heated, Jess, or is that just natural sunlight?
It's currently heated because I got a hand-me-down of one of those heated laundry hangers.
Oh, right.
And, that's in there at the moment, so it's actually quite toasty warm in there. Accidentally, but it's made quite a big difference to the room.
Nice.
But
I think, Jess, me and you are just gonna. Oh, it's gonna be embarrassing when we overtake them. To be honest, now because all them leaves are gonna drop from the bottom. JB, do you know what I mean? It's just I think it'd be
It could happen. It could happen.
I mean, funny enough though, we joked about this when you were showing it that you were going to come to a bit where you've got to make some tough choices. You know what I mean? And so, what have you kept? Which are the good ones that you're not going to mess about with? Which ones are them ones there?
I must admit, I'm not very good at knowing the varieties this year, Tony. A lot
The
of
green
those are the
ones.
sweets.
Just call them the green ones.
There's a lot of my sweet peppers, so the bell peppers are all on there. There's 5 ring of fire plants. Those I'm really looking forward to. They've gone like super branchy. Most of my super hots are on the top shelf, and they are way behind. They are so much smaller. They look good. They look healthy. But that one Hainan yellow lantern, the one that I used to show on the show all the time, that's on the bottom shelf. That one is rocketing away. But most of the super hots are a little far behind. But I'm surprised that they all still look really healthy. And I'm not sure how well you can see it. It's going to be slightly blurred out. But the light is really just in the center there now. And there's a lot of plants on the outside. And I keep looking at them, waiting for them to start getting a bit leggy or looking a bit sad. And they're okay. They're okay for now. So
can you lower that shelf?
I can, and I have been meaning to, and I should, because yes, it's useful
Yes,
storage.
he can. But
Like all of this stuff is we'd have to find a different home for, so I've just been putting it off. But it is on the to-do list. Maybe I'll do it tonight. Maybe you've persuaded me.
So I'm looking at. It's hard to say that, like, but that light can't go up. Is it hitting the wood top?
Yeah,
Jib,
the light is as high as I can put it.
Right.
It's a bit of a bodge job, but yeah, I can actually just lower that shelf. It's just a little IKEA unit, but it's really handy. All of the shelves you can raise and lower by like removing the pins. All of the the legs have just got holes, so you just put a little dowel pin in. It's quite cool.
Right. Any flowers? Anybody? Audrey, have you been sowing flowers?
Oh yeah. I just threw out my snapdragons that were doing nothing. Nothing. I mean, they hadn't moved. They came up as these little teeny things, and they stayed there. So we're gonna try those again. I actually threw a jug out in my backyard for winter sowing because it's still so cold. I thought I'm gonna give that a shot. So I put an entire packet of seeds out there, snapdragons. So we'll see. Yeah, I've got my lissums up. What else is up? I have some coneflowers. Echinacea are moving on. Some larkspur, some stock. So yeah, I've got a lot on the go there.
Am I right? Is the snapdragons the one you always have trouble with, Audrey?
Yes. And I do not understand why and then I see other people and they're like, you got to pinch them off because they got to, and I know that, but mine won't get to that point. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong with these silly flowers, but maybe they're taking a note from my peppers.
I've got a tray of snapdragons downstairs. I've never tried to grow them from a seed packet before. Like I've always just like had flower heads and pulled them off and thrown them on the floor. And this time, and they come up just like they're just brilliant. There's no problem at all. But then you're not like looking at them. You don't see them until suddenly they're this big, Whereas the ones that I've sown downstairs, actually from a packet, are probably I can't even separate my fingers for how big they are. They're like that big, and they've been that way. They germinated to that size really quickly.
Yes,
and they're still there. Nothing's changed.
Exactly how mine were.
When did you sow them?
So you just got rid of yours?
I was frustrated because this is like the third year, and that's all they ever do. And so I never have I'm going to, pinch out the center so they bush out. There is no center.
No.
They're two little seed leaves. They don't even have true leaves on them.
No, that's what mine are. They're just completely frozen at that point.
So I said, thank you for coming. And I threw some in a winter sowing jug and said, we're going to go out a different door and see if that works. If not, I'll go to the garden center and purchase some snapdragons.
I think that's where I'm heading.
Yeah. I don't get it.
When did you sow them?
I probably sowed these. This is now April 1st, isn't it? February? Early February? Yeah.
I mean, there was when we had the flower special. It was like 2 days after. I can't remember when that was, but it was just like straight after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they had plenty of time to grow. It was definitely.
I'm just, the devil's advocate. Are you not sowing them at the wrong time? Is it not meant to be,
We did ours in January, and they're like this big now.
What are you doing over there, you crazy? You're a warlock now. What is your deal?
I'm cutting them off. You know what I mean?
It's Jess's.
I know.
Jess's flowers, not mine.
Well,
so I have no responsibility.
Well,
are they like a long grown plant? Do you know what I mean? Once you sow, because I was thinking, Audrey, maybe leave them longer, but would that not?
I was so frustrated. It was either thank them for coming or they were going to end up on the side of a wall or something. So I thought, let's keep this cool. It's gardening. Let's just go out a different door. So I went out a different door.
What variety were they?
They were Orange Wonder, and one was a lavender.
Oh, okay.
So it was just two different varieties.
Yeah, two. I've only got the one variety, you see. I didn't know whether it was just particularly.
I've tried Orange Wonder for the last 4 years, I think.
well.
Yeah.
Whereas
Maybe
I've got
that's the
one in
issue.
the front garden next to the front door that is just a prolific self-seeder, and it's everywhere. Like, why is this a thing?
So maybe I should just direct sow them and see what happens. I've never
Or
done that either.
change the
No.
variety. You know, if it's
I know, but these
Yeah.
orange wonder are so gorgeous.
so
They
pretty.
are so gorgeous. They're orange and pink with a little yellow in the inside. I mean, you don't get those two colors together. Yeah, no, they're gorgeous.
It makes me really hungry, that color combination. It's like opal fruits, you know, like the pink and the orange, and it's lovely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lovely.
What's yours, Jess, that you've sowed that are just staying the same? Is it the same as Audrey's? What did you say?
No, mine is called Apple Blossom, I think.
Right.
The one
That's a beautiful one too.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Very
not.
pretty.
They're like this. But if I could get them to grow, but maybe I would just chuck something, because where they're growing in the front garden is a gravel bed. Like, there's almost no soil, and that's where they germinate with no problem. So I might just try a pot of gravel or something and see if I can get them to go.
Well, last I heard, there's a whole lot of compost over there that is gravel. Okay, I didn't even get a.
Hey.
Okay, there you go. Remember, we had shows on compost. Like, oh my gosh, because it's grit. It's
yes, definitely.
Maybe that's it. Maybe the soil's too good, and they're like, no, we want really bad soil.
Yeah, I wonder if possibly like a rich compost is not what they're like. You know, like say Jesse's is growing prolific on a gravelly. Is it a conditioned bed as well, Jess, or is it just left to its own devices?
Where they're growing is, so front of the house, it's right up against the wall of the house, which is a brick wall, so it sucks all the moisture out of everything. There's a big cherry tree right next to it, so it is dry. There's no soil. There shouldn't be any soil in there because it was weed-proof matting with just pea shingle on top.
Blimey.
So they're really tough. Them and the lickness grow phenomenally. Like, it's brilliant. The things that germinate in there really brilliantly. So the snapdragons everywhere, lickness, and love in the mist. You know, Nigella.
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
When do these then, just for Audrey's sake, Jess, when does the outside ones germinate? And are they starting to like pop their heads up now? Are they?
Yeah, they're all like sort of this sort of height out the front. So.
And could you?
Maybe I'll just dig some of them.
I was going to say, could you do that, Jess? Could you transplant a couple? Could you?
I'll probably just kill them.
Yeah. Leave them alone. Leave them alone, like Taser.
Mine, I did that with the Cosmos last year. You know what I mean? They were popping up everywhere. These
are Jess's antirrhinums.
Show off.
Oh, come on.
It's funny how he's got them to hand.
Jess has just been off camera. I was like,
oh, come on.
So, JB, you'd be quite easy to like nip the heads off them and bush them out. You know what I mean?
Guess so,
yeah.
I think we were just going to plant some out today, and then we ran out of time in the back garden.
So what are yours, JB? What kind's them?
Oh, no idea. That's well above my pay grade.
Just a flower. Man.
Just as the flowers for the garden. I do some for the allotment.
That's pretty impressive little snapdragon there. That's all I'm going to say.
She's had generally pretty good success, but the lupins are the one. All the lupins this year that went into pots this size just died off mysteriously. There's one left out of about 15 that just sowed. They've all just kind of died a death, but one's hanging on in there.
Well, I remember Jess saying about the lupins, it's like a slug fest. Once they go out, the slugs are just kind of way party time. So
absolute.
Well, maybe I should grow those.
But there's another one that seems to grow really well in really harsh conditions, like the lupins.
There's your answer, Audrey. You're killing them with kindness.
I don't know what. Yeah, it's frustrating because I love these flowers. What are you gonna do?
See, it still gets, it's still the excitement there is when, like, how, I'm not being cheeky, Audrey, but how long Audrey's been gardening, and there's still things that just, you think everything would be like bang, bang, bang. So, things that just,
Nope.
We've
That's
all
why-
got them as well, haven't we? Like the nemesis. The one that
Yes.
has eluded us.
The
for a
Achilles
long
heel
time.
of the gardening world. That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those
But
are
there's
mine.
a reason people don't get bored of gardening. Like if you're a gardener, you'll do it for your entire life because of this. It's the eternal.
Well, because I want to beat it. I want to figure out what I'm doing wrong and do it differently. Yeah.
The kind of downside is, though, you fail, you've got to wait a whole year to kind of try, you know what I mean?
Exactly that. Yeah, when like you're looking at your chilies and you're like, this is a complete fail. Oh, but I've missed my window.
And I don't think I have 30 years to worry about this. Right? Like, I need to figure this out.
It's got to be, yes.
Yes.
Fab. Right, what else is happening? I've got a couple of notes there. Frost protection. Are we doing anything for well, JB? Chilies then, they're just in that polytunnel. Are they just
Come on, give them a little love, JB, out there.
I've got
Anything?
some
Oh, you
fleece,
got them
but
covered in fleece?
if it gets cold enough, they need a lot more than fleece, so they'll be coming home. I do have my tomatoes have been sowed in the unheated greenhouse, and I'm probably not going to bring those home. So if we get some cold forecasts, I'll probably chuck a bit of fleece on. Well, I've got that new seed tray, actually, that new seed shelf, and I can probably just cut a few bits of fleece that will sit over all of those trays quite nicely. So that would be.
So JB, what's your roughly your average temperature in the night time? Because I would have thought it's still, surely, even you being down tropical south, still too cold for germination.
Tropical south.
Well, yeah, it's we've had a few nights going down to like -4, but that's the coldest I've seen it in a while. There was one that was -4, -6 the other day, but generally it's still around 7 degrees at night on the
I'm
thermometer.
just looking at the forecast here. Actually, I mean, obviously last night was a proper dip, but we're 9, 10, 11, 9, like
What,
for the next
through the night, wow.
As the
It is-
lower temperature and 17,
That's summer weather. Come on.
like 17,
Wow.
16 in the day in the next 2 weeks. So
Right, we haven't got that. I'm sure we're about, because I was looking, because Jess, I remember you saying, might have been 2 weeks ago or a week ago, there's going to be a bout of rain for a week coming. We've got that on my app now. Every day from today, Monday, till next Monday, 100, 90, 80%, back to 100, every day, rain.
yeah.
So,
But we had this past week, we had a really poor forecast, and every day, it was this past week that's just gone that I was looking at. I was like, oh my God, it's just all rain. But actually, it's fair enough to say that every day it did rain, but it was like the weather's moving over so quick at the moment. Like it's really like quite high up. It's really, really blowy. So it's like you get a downpour and then 15 minutes later it's beautiful sunshine again, and it rather than it when you look at the forecast and it was just like, holy smoke, that looks depressing. It's actually been really quite nice.
Jimmy, would you rather have cloud now or clear skies?
Yeah, a week of cloud, please, for my peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it warm at night. But yeah, I've got the thermometer up on my app, and yeah, what I said was about right. 7 degrees the other night. Then it went down to 5.
I haven't got
9 degrees on Tuesday night. It's pretty warm, pretty cozy.
What about Jess? What about you? Frost protection? Will you do anything when you initially take up your plants? You're saying your tomatoes up. Will they be fleeced in a greenhouse or polytunnel?
Was that to me?
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
I never have a great deal of luck with fleece. I mean, I did fleece my broad beans when I put them out. What was it? When I put the really early ones out that I got a bit soft in the greenhouse. Fleece them, and that seemed to work really well. I mean, I've put my potatoes in this week in the bed, the first earlies, and obviously if they come up and we get a dip, I'll fleece the top of them because they just burn off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It is a case like JB. Like my allotment's not very far away, and my days are pretty flexible. So if I've taken everything up and then suddenly it's like it's going to be awful, I'll just bring them back home again. They can sit in the sitting room for the night.
you watch Charlie Dowden, and he's just like fleece obsessed. You know what I mean? It's like he's a full scale fleecer. You know what I mean? And even like shows you where he hangs them through the summer, so because he's not using them. There's just like racks of them. You know, like all these fleeces and like 30 yards long types. You know, he fleeces like everything. I know he's jumping the seasons, trying to get a heads up on the season, but
I think the thing is with him as well, he's growing at such a scale that it might be worth fleecing something when you've got like an entire 20-meter bed of it. But if you've got like one row, like maybe 8 plants of beetroot or something, it's like, who can be bothered getting the fleece out for that? That's my
But if
attitude.
you're only 8 beetroot, why wouldn't you?
I suppose
that's the other side of the question.
Yeah. I'm going to try to push my lettuce out soon and just seed it all and put fleece over the top of the bed and see what happens. That or my some of the brassica, some of my broccoli. I think I'm going to try to get out broccoli, JB. I'm going to try to get that out maybe in the next week or two.
No one's getting our jokes today. Come on,
I
man.
know. I'm like, I'm way off, or you guys are sleeping. I'm not sure what it is.
We're eating purple sprouting at the moment. So when you say broccoli, I'm just like, yeah, purple sprouting. I'm here for it. You're talking about gross broccoli, though. Where my mind doesn't even go, I block it out.
I only do
purple sprouting, but not.
I know. Yeah, I can't I don't know why it makes sense, Jessie, but purple sprouting is just so much nicer. It's got sweetness, it's nutty, it's like fresh.
Have you always just eaten really shit broccoli? I mean, bad broccoli.
There you go.
Maybe. I have never grown my own. It could be.
Come on. Well, there you go. We have figured out the problem. Okay.
Have you ever bought purple sprouting?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't taste of anything, do you not think? Like bought purple sprouting?
Yeah, maybe. It's been a while since I brought it, like 4 years. So,
that's the problem.
Maybe I should try broccoli this year.
Oh my goodness.
With a live taste test, so we can see you retching. Like,
I'll do a live taste test of the broccoli if everyone else joins me in a chili tasting live. How's that?
I'd do that in a heartbeat to see you kind of losing your mind over eating a piece of broccoli.
It's fun though, JB, that I honestly thought you'd been growing it. And so you haven't even grown this like broccoli that you don't like.
No, nor cauliflower. Maybe this year. I've probably got some seeds kicking about. So yeah, okay. Well, I've got that tray of brassicas to redo anyway, so I'll chuck some broccoli in.
Mind you, you mentioned I was going to say that when you said you flipped them. Your onions, these were the ones you showed the pictures where you dropped the compost bag on them.
Yeah, it was a bag of coffee grounds.
That's right.
It was like a kilogram. It was like a bag of sugar kind of weight that went on them. So I really thought they were kaput, but they've all bounced back just fine.
Oh, I know.
They need to go in the ground, really.
Wow.
You were being nice when you said, actually, they're not really penciled. They were bloody good. Do you know what I mean? They were kind of better than my wisps. Mine are like bald man's hair. You know what I mean? Them kind of few you have. That's the way I think of mine. You know what I mean?
I don't know why. I've not particularly done anything with them. They went out into the tunnel maybe a bit earlier than other
Someone's
people's.
having a good start.
Maybe.
Full all round.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean?
We'll see.
Round. Anything else, Audrey? Are you frost protection? Would you? Oh God, yours. No, you wouldn't really, because your summer kind of just comes the week after frosts have finished. So there's no.
I was going to say the week after we don't have frost, we have heat. So, but I'm going to try to get my lettuce and arugula and spinach out now. See what happens. Because they bolt. Usually, arugula and spinach bolt for me within minutes of me putting the seeds in. So I want to see if they can live through some of this cold.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm going to try it.
Well, salad, you know what I mean? It's kind of depends what variety, but surely you can kind of beat a little Detroit cold weather. Surely.
Well, but those love cold weather.
I know.
And I'm hoping that that's in my favor. So we'll see. Have you guys ever had a soil test? I did my first soil test.
Ooh.
Really?
Yes. Came back kind of shocking.
Did it?
Good or bad?
Yes, it was. My pH was great. Phosphorus is great. My nitrogen and potassium tubed really bad,
Right.
which shocked me.
Mm.
Which really shocked me. So we're gonna do some, we're gonna add some things to make it a little more nitrogen rich.
Did you do, Audrey? Did you do like a little sample of all around your garden?
No,
Or
I took 7 samples
right.
from different beds and then sent it off and got the report.
Wow.
So yeah, I was very surprised.
Do you mind
was
us asking?
was it fairly similar, like across all your different samples?
No, you put them all together, you mix it all together, and they do one sample. Yeah, I didn't want to get quite that fussy about bed 1, bed 2. I thought let's just do
that's what I meant. You just took like a.
But I can't imagine adding some nitrogen and potassium would be a bad thing. So I'm gonna do that, and then I want to get the lettuce out. So depending on, we have a lot of rain coming. I'd love to get those amendments in before the rain, so it kind of settles in.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Audrey, just out of, I hope you don't mind us asking, what did the price cost for your soil test?
It was around $38.
Right.
So
in
good.
real money, that's probably about what?
30, in real money,
not Monopoly money, like probably about £30, is it? Like
your
25?
money's all colorful. What are you talking about, Monopoly money over here?
My God, woman, it's British pounds sterling. Yeah. Well, that's money well spent, Audrey. That's like right on your beginning of your season.
So I'm thinking, wow, I wonder if I add these 2 things, if my produce will be better. So I would think it would.
But on the flip side, though, Audrey, I've never heard you complain about your produce. Your produce is going too well, like you're making too much.
Well, that's why I was kind of surprised. But I thought if it can grow stronger or better, or be more productive, I'm all about that. So,
do you normally use a lot more fertilizer towards the end of the season? For the tomatoes and that kind of thing.
No, I don't. I'm actually bad fertilizing during the year. I have it in my mind every 2 weeks we're going to give them a lovely seaweed and fish emulsion spray, and maybe we do 2 or 3.
Interesting.
And I need like that would make such a difference, and it's not hard. I mean, do the little pumpy spray thing.
Mine, I think, Audrey, I think everyone's like that, mind you. Do you know what I mean? We start off keen as out and by, not bother.
I know, and I'd like to be a little more consistent with that.
With all those,
ditto.
With all those quad grows I've got, the amount of like bottles of fertilizer, I look like a chemical factory inside that the polytunnel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You're going to have to come up with something to scale up, Tony. You're going to need to. I reckon you should dedicate a water butt. Like in the tunnel or somewhere nearby, work out the capacity, like how many liters there is in that big reservoir, and then don't do the fertilizer calculation, scale it up. Because if you've got to do 30 mil into a watering can for each one of those, it's gonna take you hours.
Well, what I've been thinking, JB, is that's the max what I've got there. I don't have to plant the max. I could put some of them in the hut and forget about, you know what I mean? So this is me kind of thinking now, because to be honest, I have got to be careful with myself, like lifting. I'm thinking, God, there's a lot of compost bags I've got to hump into there, and because I've seen the Melanie, you might have to help us here, because I feel it straight away. Do you know what I mean? Lifting the compost bag, no matter what belt I put on, do you know what I mean? It's still kind of, so I'm thinking, well, that's the max. Maybe not plant everything, but then you get in this cycle of I don't want to throw these little seedlings out. Do you know what I mean? I just, that's my downfall there. It's like keeping seedlings. You know what I mean? I think I need, I don't know what it is, 40 plants, but I think at the moment I must have about 200 on the go. Do you know what I mean? Like all the tomatoes have come up. You know what I mean? I only need 4 of each one.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot.
Well, I've just with say you get a packet of your seeds, or you get 10 Brad's Atomic. I'll sow the 10. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just
Oh, see, I would not do that
No,
Yeah, I
can't
would.
do it.
because I don't want anywhere near 10 plants
No.
of that.
I'll just sow them, and then because then I'll end up having 3 boxes of like half seeds with no, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have an entire shelf of that. Like, yeah, like so. That's part of gardening. It's like, yeah, you got to have packets.
I've
I've done two of each, two
Yeah.
seeds of each plant.
I think I've done 4.
There's a couple that I've done 4 of. I know that I've got a couple of people up the allotment who want a couple of pork chops off me.
Right.
So, like the ones that I know other people want, I've done extras. But yeah, just 2. You know, at least one of them's going to come up. I only really want that, and then the first time you do the little, snap offs of them, you just stick them, and then you've already got 10 plants.
Mine, I still think it's bizarre. You're just doing all them tomatoes, but it's just basically 1 tomato plant of each.
Yeah.
I narrowed it down.
Tell us.
Well, no, in the video this week, like I've recorded me putting all the soil in the trays, getting ready to go, and then the next shot, it's like pitch black darkness trying to sow them because it taken me like about 2 hours to go through the seeds and actually make a final decision. So
hard.
Yeah.
I went with 28 in the end. I went 28 varieties.
That is a steep drop off from the 90 on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I'd already done
That's still a lot of tomato plants.
Yeah, I'd done the initial cull, had taken it down to about 50, 51 that I was like, I actually actively want to grow these. And I cut it down to 28. That includes, though, the ones that are... I've got about 5 varieties which are the blight-resistant ones, which are going to go outdoors at the allotment. So that's not included in the polytunnel ones. Some that are going to go outdoors here in the back garden. So I'll try and... Yeah.
So was there any it's getting hot and sweaty. Oh, I should have really done. Was there any
I don't want to talk about it, actually.
I should have done. Was there any that it was on that line, like, no, I cannot.
I had a pile of, I can't live without these ones. I had a pile of like, I really want to try these, and I had another pile which were like, I would really like to give these a go. And then I ended up having to separate them out by when their seed was from. So like if it was fresh seed, I know I can sow them next year. I mean, I know tomato seed survives really well anyway, but it was a good way of kind of dividing them up. So
yeah.
So I didn't feel like I wasn't getting them, but they've automatically gone on to next year's list. So
yeah, just far the way people like work, and you know what I mean,
you know how your brain works, and you're just like trying to fool yourself into dealing with it better.
Jess, but I love it that everyone's individual. Like you say, get a packet of seeds. I'll just sow all my seeds. Throw away the packet. That's it. Gone. If they come, they come. Jess is putting.
I can't do that.
I can't do it. What if they're like the best seeds ever, and like you can't get hold of them next year? What if it's the favorite?
That's not going to happen, JB. Is it going to be? Is it going to be a ban on Brad's Atomic?
Well, the crop might fail, Tony.
Yeah,
the locusts might arrive.
It's like a security blanket having 40 billion packets of seed, whether they're out of date or not. Like, just yeah.
Well, you don't even keep your videos, though, do you, Tony? So I think that's just your style. Like, off next.
You know what? Mind you, I did yesterday. This is like talking about 2 electric bikes and electric scooter. I uploaded them, and I thought, right, I just deleted off my camera. And I went to my thing, and I went, the main one, this main bike, which is an orange-looking one, if you ever watched it, they weren't on the computer. And I was thinking, I've just deleted. It's not on the computer. It should be on the computer. I clicked all the things, and lucky enough, when I went to say format card, I didn't press OK, so it was still on the actual camera. And I'm thinking, ooh, lucky escape there, because a week of rain. You know what I mean? So
yeah, nearly.
Yes. Oh no, get rid of. I mean, I do keep. Obviously, there's some lettuces that you just got bundles of. And I love lettuce, and I can keep sowing. But 10 seeds on a tomato. I'm not keeping a couple of seeds in a packet. For God's sake.
But
man.
that's 5 years worth of seed.
Yeah.
And it will survive
I
that
don't-
long.
What's
Yeah,
it? What do
I
you mean
don't.
5 years worth of seed? I want more than 2 plants. The bloody family.
Okay, so let's say you want 5, then it's 2 years of
2
seed.
years, yes. But you see, me big thing, Audrey, though, me big, is I've got a mate in America that every year sends us over a packet of seeds. You know
Well,
what I mean?
so I'm enabling you to not be responsible with your seeds. That's what I hear. Okay. Yeah,
You may have just cut off your supply line.
I was going to say.
I'll be next year. I'll be JP. Have you gotten any seeds? You
I'll send
fool.
you 5 of
good.
mine. How's that?
Yeah.
Or I'll just get a couple of seeds in off
Portion
Audrey.
them
It'll
out
be like
for
a
him.
packet. It'll be yes.
Oh, golly.
Hey, listen. We're on the top of the hour there now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
wow.
very good.
Oh yes, Audrey. Where can we find you?
Every time you say that, I want to go at my home, in my backyard.
yeah, I know. My lips is always right on the tip of my tongue.
Oh
I
no.
know. Real Food Comes Dirty. Instagram, YouTube,
.com.
and .com.
.com, right. JB's, as we've found out, it's not spending the money on the .com.
Oh no.
No.
I don't have much I'd put on there. I mean, Audrey's database of everything that you've sown is incredible on the website. Everyone should
Yeah.
go and have a look,
Yes.
especially if you want a bit of inspiration, because it's just like you just scroll and it's just like, oh my god, it's still going. It's still going. There's so much. It's still going.
I have to take the snapdragons off the. Oh no, I guess I resewed them so I can change the date.
Yeah.
So I guess it's naturally JB. And they
Oh,
give some
yes.
great videos. Yes, I do recommend going to watch that. The
You can find me on
polytunnel
YouTube and
finishing
Instagram.
one. Lovely one, that. Jess, where can we find you?
Jessie at Plot 37 on YouTube, Plot 37 on Instagram, and plot37.com.
What about the cat?
Oh,
Where
and
is she?
_ Hallie Cat on Instagram.
Oh my goodness.
She's actually downstairs. I've stuck, the heated propagators. I've got a heated propagator with a towel in it, and she is in heaven. She's just like a little white belly on show that she hasn't moved. Have to
Isn't
keep
that-
nudging her out of it to eat, and she's just like pulls back in.
Oh really? Do I have to? Can you just bring it to me? Surely you could feed me. Yes.
Well, listen, everyone. Audrey, JB, Jess, thank you so much.
Thanks very
Thank
much.
you,
Bye,
Tony.
everyone.
Yep.
Take good care.
Bye. Have a good week.
Bye.